For over a decade, Margaret Maggie Holloway was considered a pillar of Clearfield's only hospital, St. Brigid Medical Center. A seasoned neonatal nurse with a warm smile and steady hands, she had helped deliver hundreds of babies and guided new mothers through their most vulnerable moments. Patients trusted her. Colleagues respected her. She was, by all appearances, everything a small-town nurse should be, which is why the town was stunned when news broke that a newborn baby had vanished from the maternity ward under Maggie's watch. The baby, Liam Tucker, was born on July 3, 2025, to 22-year-old Allison Tucker, a first-time mother recovering from an emergency C-section. Allison had drifted in and out of sleep, sedated and exhausted. Nurses assured her the baby was fine, being monitored in the nursery for mild jaundice. But by the next morning, Liam was gone. No alarm had been triggered. No cameras had caught a figure slipping through. No explanation could account for the infant's disappearance from a secure hospital wing. At first, local investigators treated it like a one-off crime, possibly a desperate relative, an unwell patient, or even an internal error. But nothing added up. Allison had no visitors logged that night. The hospital's badge records showed only 2 people entering the nursery during the hours in question: a junior nurse on break and Maggie Holloway. Maggie had logged her usual rounds. Her alibi checked out, on paper. Then, detectives received an anonymous tip. "You're looking in the wrong place. This isn't the first baby she's taken." The tip was dismissed as a crank call until another investigator revisited an unsolved case from 2019, a baby born to a homeless teen, mother at St. Brigid, who vanished days after discharge. The mother had claimed the hospital never gave her the baby, but with no records missing and her history of instability, no charges or leads were ever pursued. Then came another case from 2021, and another. Patterns emerged, each involving vulnerable mothers with few connections, limited support, or troubled pasts. The common thread? Maggie Holloway was involved in the care team for every single one. Behind closed doors, Maggie's life was far from ordinary. Divorced, no children of her own. A quiet house on the edge of town, filled with antique cribs and hand-stitched baby blankets, strangely untouched. Digging deeper, federal agents began uncovering a hidden trail of offshore payments, false medical records, and a burner phone linked to encrypted messages with coded references to deliveries, adoptions, and packages cleared. Maggie, it turned out, had been the central figure in an underground child trafficking ring spanning multiple states. Exploiting her access, she falsified discharge papers, altered ID tags, and funneled newborns out of hospitals under the radar, targeting mothers society wouldn't notice missing a child. What shocked the investigators most wasn't just the operation's scope, but how long it had gone undetected. The ring had functioned quietly since at least 2017, with Maggie trafficking at least 8 infants, each sold through black market channels masked as international private adoptions. The final blow came when agents traced baby Liam to a private airstrip outside Nashville. Surveillance showed a woman matching Maggie's profile, handing off a baby wrapped in a hospital blanket to a man with forged adoption paperwork. The plane had left for Brazil hours before the FBI could intervene, but Maggie was already on the run. For 48 hours, Clearfield was in panic. National alerts were issued. Allison Tucker appeared on every news channel, pleading for the return of her son. On the 3rd day, Maggie was found 120 miles away, in an abandoned farmhouse once owned by her late aunt. She was dehydrated, disoriented, and armed. She surrendered without resistance. Inside the farmhouse, agents found a box labeled "My Angels." Inside were photos, ID bands, and locks of hair from each missing child. Maggie had kept a piece of every baby she trafficked. Maggie Holloway was charged with multiple counts of child trafficking, kidnapping, falsification of medical records, and conspiracy. In a federal courtroom, she sat stone-faced as victims' families gave tearful testimony. When asked why she did it, she reportedly whispered, "Some people don't deserve to be mothers. I gave those babies better lives, but the jury saw through her justification." She was sentenced to life in federal prison without parole. Baby Liam was eventually located in Sao Paulo through Interpol cooperation and returned to his mother after 2 months of diplomatic negotiation. Allison's reunion with her son was emotional, but the trauma lingered. Clearfield still grapples with the aftermath. Hospital administrators resigned. The state launched a sweeping audit of all maternity wards. New legislation, Liam's Law, was introduced, mandating tighter newborn security protocols and real-time tracking of discharge procedures. But no law can erase the truth. A woman entrusted with life became the architect of loss, and no one saw it coming. Not until it was too late.